to elevate.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Two Brothers channel. I'm one brother.
Hello, everybody. I'm the second brother. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the channel. We have an exciting one for you today. Another exciting one. Back to you, Mr. Phil.
Hey, today, ladies and gentlemen, guess what? We're making this episode and we're titling it A Tribute to Our Mentors.
Woo! Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Tribute to our mentors.
Wow.
You see, ladies and gentlemen, everybody need a mentor. You have a mentor. You have some remote mentors. You have some mentors that basically you just watch from afar and you learn from. Okay, so let me first start with the you even have peer mentors. When I got to the UK, the first peer mentor that I had, believe it or not, Mr. Clay, his name is Lawrence.
Wow.
Lawrence was my first peer mentor. I have a peer mentor now that is a friend of mine. Actually, I'll just mention his name. Zari is a peer mentor. These are people that you mentor each other, but you are contemporaries. You encourage each other. Okay. Lawrence was my first peer mentor. When I got to the UK, I didn't really know anything about this system. But Lawrence was born here. So Lawrence basically showed me this and showed me that, and he used to tell me that I was green, and I used to ask him a lot of questions. And without much ado, he got to a point where, and every time I will ask him questions, Lawrence will answer. Lawrence will answer, will always answer me. Then one day he said to me, he said, Phil, you stopped asking questions. And I thought about it. I'm like, it's true, you know, I've stopped answering questions because there's nothing to ask now. I know it.
So you were Baba.
Because you just noticed, because it was like, when I first came in, it was like questions after question every day, you know, I would be asking the questions. Then suddenly there was a period, I just stopped asking questions. Guess what? I got to a point where Lawrence was now known as a peer mentor. He has done his job. I was now going for information that were higher. Okay. Let Mr. Claire say a word as well.
You said reminded me of the film Forrest Gump. And Forrest Gump and Baba. Baba and everything. I was talking about shrimp business. Shrimp. Talked about everything you can do with a shrimp. And then one day he just stopped. It's like, what? That's it. That's all you can do with a shrimp.
Anyone that has not seen that film would not understand that one.
It's a classic. You've got to go watch Forrest Gump. It's a classic. It's a classic.
Definitely.
So shout out to Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump. What I remember about Forrest Gump, get down, shut up. He said he went to Vietnam and all they did was get down, shut up. It's
a classic. It's a classic. If you haven't seen it, go and watch. It's an old film now. It's a very old film now. But it's definitely worth it. It's a good watch. So remote peer pressures and peer pressures. There's peer pressures. There's definitely peer pressures. Peer mentors. Okay. Yes, I remember having peer mentors as well when I first arrived, and you know, my journey took some twist because I joined the Air Training Corps because I wanted to have a bit of military experience. So I went there, and I think one of my first few mentors came from there. where I had a group of NCOs that I looked up to, and they really dealt with us as cadets. And then I met a guy called Julian at the time, and he was like, he wasn't raised the African way, he was raised the British way. And I used him to try and navigate the system, or navigate this new reality I was suddenly thrown into. And then there's schoolmates as well. There's a guy called Alex that I became friends with. And they were, showing me my rights as a teenager, because as an African teenager in the UK, you had no rights. You basically told to sit down, shut up. So those two were the ones, and plus I had older brothers as well, who were in the same boat as me, really. But yeah, those were sticking with the theme that Mr. Field is laying out.
Okay, all right.
I had, peer, those guys were
the peer mentors.
Peer mentors.
Okay. Now the main mentor. Now that's the peer mentor. The main mentor in my life. This gentleman basically mentored me and changed the trajectory of my life. Simon, I'm not going to be naming the surnames, but you know who you are. Simon.
Oh, yeah, Simon.
Because in today's world, if I said the surname, someone will just go onto Google and Simon, yes, I'm saying. And so I don't want to.
If you want to know him, you can leave the comments.
Okay, let me just say.
My share a bit more about him.
Let me call him Simon G. Simon G.
G for gangster.
So Simon G. And Simon G basically was my real life mentor back then, because with Simon, he was the first one that really took me under his wings and took me to places, shared books with me, basically shared his life and his self and his knowledge and his outlook with me, to the point where I think Mr. Clare was even telling me that my dad was threatened. My family were threatened. What's this guy that, and Simon, being a white gentleman, we looked like an odd couple. This white young gentleman and this black tall whippersnapper. You know what I'm saying? And but what that journey did for my life is priceless. I wouldn't be able to do what I do today without that journey with Simon. Okay, so this is tribute to Simon G. And just to say thank you so much for impacting my life the way you did. Over to you, Mr. Kunle.
Yes, Simon. I was. I remember when I first saw Simon. Just came into our living room with a whiteboard, and he was showing us a business plan. And he's the one that first showed me the 2 to 5 year plan versus the 45-year rot plan. And you should see our previous videos where we went into depth in that. But what Simon showed me was a big contrast. We had us, the African family from Nigeria, and you had this white middle class, rich guy just came in, and mindsets were totally different. There was nothing in common. Let's just say there was absolutely nothing in common. And me, I always, because I was like, I was so young. I was about 16 at the time. And I was like, I wanted everything Simon had to give me. you know, and even if it's money, whatever, I just wanted it, you know, just take it from me and take it, you know. And it's amazing because I don't know if you can hear the drilling going on, you know, in the background. Okay, good. Because it's just coincidence that somebody will start drilling at this time. But hey, there you go. So, you know, so Simon was like, Simon, he just knew Simon had knowledge and he had access that nobody around us had, you know. And I was like, you know what? If I can just get to half of where this guy is, I'm made. I don't even want all of what he's got. I just want half. Half will do me, you know. And it's one of those ones where I was too shy to even talk to him directly in most cases. I couldn't just go up to them and start talking, Simon. Yap. No. So in a lot of things, I was just very quiet and I was just, trying to, talk without talking with him,
Hold on to their life and not be disqualified from following us.
And Mr. Phil was doing most of the talking. I just used to listen, like, wow. But the thing about Simon that really, really touched me was as long as you showed him that you were willing to learn and grow, he was willing to go to the end of the earth with you. And you can get jealous with a mentor like that because there's no many of them around.
Mm-hmm.
And we weren't the only people he was helping. He had other people he was helping. But
honestly, we can't repay this guy more than apart from what we're doing right now. Because one of the things I used to do then was he would drive all the way from where he lived about an hour away from us then. And he would drive and come and pick us up. We'd go for breakfast. Tea and what do they call it? I don't want to, it's not crumpets. Scones. Yeah. Tea and scones, and we'll talk over tea and scones, and after that he would drive me and Leia with the car in his Mercedes. He always drove very, very good cars. You get in there, AC, all the, trimmings, just nice cars. And he would drive us to the most expensive real estate areas. Dream building, just showing us these houses. And I'll be looking at these houses, He didn't have to do that, but he did that. He built a dream in us that our mind expanded. And he said it. He said, look, Phil, once your mind expands, it cannot shrink back. You're right, Simon. It didn't shrink back because honestly, that's one of the reasons why I cannot not want a job. Because my mindset has gone beyond the job. So I have to be my own boss. And if I have a job, it's always forever going to be temporary. Mr. Claire.
Yes, sir. What you said there, I mean, him saying there's so many nuggets that he kept dropping. If you guys keep going in this direction, you can't believe where you'll be in the future. And he gave me my first challenge because me, I was as shy as anybody that you can meet. I couldn't even say boo to a mouse. I was so shy. I was so quiet. And he's the first one that gave me a challenge and said, you know what? What I want you to do is say hello to 10 strangers every day. Because I was like, I want to be a millionaire. I want to build a business, but, I just can't do it. Is it possible? I can't do it, And Simon will be like, okay, listen, you're focusing on the wrong thing. Let's build you up to that. Do this first. Don't worry about anything anybody's saying to you. Don't get yourself all confused. Do this. Just say hello to 10 strangers every day. 10 strangers every day, 10 strangers every day. Say hello to them. And that little challenge, and I had to report back to him. It's one thing that transformed my life. Because first of all, I thought it was impossible to do that. You got to see where I'm coming from. It's something that you might think, oh, come on, that's easy. No. It's impossible. I was that shy. That is impossible. Now I'm doing videos. You're thinking, no, come on, you're exaggerating. Trust me.
Imagine.
There's no exaggeration.
People don't see the journey, and the person I am today, the person you are today, Mr. Kanleye, the person we are, it's impossible for us to be these people that we are, capable of doing the things that we're doing today without that foundation. He laid a foundation and worked with us to lay a foundation now. I can't, apart from COVID, if COVID was not happening, I travel around the world.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Because it's amazing how.
Yeah, sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. We had some technical issues. To be honest, someone actually called during the recording, so that messed it up. But I hope we can continue. From where we left off. Mr. Kanleye, you were talking about 10 hellos a day.
Yes. So, like I was saying, Simon was very good at mentoring you individually. So he knew what each person needed. Because we're trying to build a network marketing business at the time. And, building the business was so far away from where I was. I wasn't even able to build a business. So his job was to get me ready so I can actually be able to go out there and build a business. So I was below, the threshold of building the business, And he used to say, say hello to 10 strangers every day. And I remember my first hello. I will never forget it. I was so nervous because obviously, I have to go and say hello now. That wasn't impossible. It was literally impossible. It's just something so way out of my mindset or my reality that I was like, boy, okay. So I was very nervous. I was, and I saw this guy, I saw him coming. I was, look, okay, there's one guy coming now. And I just said, hello. And the guy jumped back. I was going to attack him. And then he kind of just walked away, and I was like, yes, I got him. I got my first hello in. Because it's not even about whenever they respond back. That wasn't the challenge. Challenge, you say hello, and then you just step, right? So that's how I started saying hello to strangers and 10 strangers every day. And I remember, there's certain people that you say hello to consecutively, and then after a while, they say hello back to you when you least expect it. So what I'm trying to say is that his mentorship was crucial for me because it gave me hope, which was very big at the time. Because you can get overwhelmed by looking at the challenge and there's no way I can do this. But him as a mentor, he was like, listen, relax, don't worry, you do more than this. Just relax. You just have to take a step at a time. It was what I needed. It was a godsend. Back to you, Mr. Phil.
And just dovetailing on that, to say that now, like I was saying earlier on, if COVID was not in this picture, I can travel anywhere in the world. I don't need Simon to hold my hand. I do so many things. At the beginning, traveling in the UK, Simon had to come and pick us up. Then we had to graduate to get to places in the UK by taking the train ourselves, get the map out. Then we graduated from the train to getting the map out and driving a car to wherever the meeting was in the UK. We got comfortable with that. Now, with him starting us up, again, he was willing to be there when we couldn't travel, we didn't know our way to places, and we couldn't do things ourselves. He will come and pick us up. He will drive an hour or an hour and a half to come and pick us up, only to go back past where he lives, so that we can go to where he lives actually is closer to where he was going to go, but he will come and pick us up, and did that until, and he didn't complain until we said, you know what, you don't need to do that anymore. Now, I have outlook that I can, which I have done. I've traveled many places in the world. I can live anywhere in the world right now. And I can trace this ability of being able to do whatever I want to do, however I want to do it, anywhere in the world. I can trace it back to that mentorship. Mr. Clay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know, traveling anywhere in the world, being comfortable, you know, in the Western world, because
even the jobs that we have, carry on, Mr. Clay.
It's something that without Simon's mentorship, you know, we wouldn't even, especially in the UK, because the UK was a mystery to us. I mean, you went to boarding school in Nigeria, so you've had the experience of traveling and being on the road and surviving. But in the UK, you know, there's intricacies that you have to get used to, you know, and that was a mystery. But, you know, the amazing thing about, you know, while a chunk of this is going to be on Simon, a chunk of this recording is going to be on Simon.
Oh, yeah.
Because he spent it, he didn't just mentor, but he actually spent the time to understand where we're coming from, and spend a good chunk of his time to build us up gradually.
He literally poured himself into us. Selflessly, because we weren't bringing in any money through the business.
That's what I'm saying, that when we're building this, we're meant to be building a business, right? But we were below the threshold of building the business. So we were like, but he saw the hunger in us.
Because most people would have said, these boys are not achieving anything. Forget it. You understand what I'm saying? But no, he poured himself into us. He took us to places where we thought we're not worthy. And he said, come in here. Have a seat. He took us to places where they would say, they are millionaires there in the VIP lounge.
Yeah, the VIP lounge.
And you see Simon just marching. And I will slow down at the door. Simon will look at me like, come, you know? And I'll be like, you know? And Simon will take me in. And that's how he broke barriers in me. He broke barriers in my mindset. It's like, you know, they break the sound barrier. He was breaking barriers in my mind, Mr. Kale.
Yes, you know, because Simon was like, you know, he always very sensitive to know how to break those barriers, you know, in you. The barriers that you knew you needed to break. It will be like, okay, you know what? This is what we're going to do. Next week, you're doing this. And you'll be like, oh, excuse me. There's times where you're actually scared, you know, like scared. You know, I don't know what whether you know what fear is, but, you know, fear, you know, it will tell you, okay, tomorrow they've asked me to do an introduction, but I want you to do it. You'd be like, what?
On stage, imagine. Oh, that's one thing they did to me too. That's one thing they did. It's like we got to the meeting. Imagine the setting meeting. Everybody's sitting there, you know. So I sat down there, like, okay, let me sit down here, and you know, essentially. And then Simon came to me and said, "You'll be speaking in 5 minutes." I'm like, "I'll be what? Speaking in 5 minutes?" Yes, just what the business means to you. Just go on the stage and speak. Do you know how scary that was? But I appreciated it because you know what? He knew that I was going to be speaking, but he didn't tell me until 5 minutes before. Because if he had told me an hour before, I'll probably be in the toilet doing something. I'll probably be completely a wreck.
Emptying your stomach.
I'm emptying my stomach. You know, but guess what? Simon, like Mr. Clare said, knows exactly what you need. He makes sure he gave me only 5 minutes because while he told me, and I was like this. I was like, welcome on stage, Philip Akipede. What do you do? And he just told me now, and I'm like, put your hands together for Philip Akipede. Welcome on stage. I'm like, it's me.
No, there's no limit.
The music is blaring. Boom, boom,
boom, boom,
boom, boom, boom, boom. The lights are on you, and you have to go to the stage. The mic. But I am so grateful I went through that because it changed my life. Thank you so much, Simon.
I'm telling you.
We can't repay you. We know we can't repay you. Mr. Clare.
Thank you, Simon. Thank you, Simon. Because there's even times where Simon will stand by your side, you know, and just ease you into it. So it's not like it's, you know, so he knows what you need. And, you know, there was a time when I remember he took us for tea and scones. And, you know, and he will say, you know, what do you want? And we you know, which is something that, you know, we probably need to go, Mr. Phil, for tea and scones, just for the sake of tea and scones.
I'm actually going to send this video to Simon.
Oh,
I'm going to
send him. Great.
I'm going to send this to Simon.
And we're sitting there, and Simon was saying, how many scones do you want? I said, I can take 2 scones, you know, because where I come from, you know, the rich man pays for everything, right? Big man. Okay, I go at the top. You know, you just turn up and he will pay, right? Because obviously he can't expect you to pay because he's a rich man. You know, he's rich, you're poor. So, hello, you know, that's the way the world works. That's the way the world works, right? The rich pays for the poor. So he would say, how many scones do you want? How many tea? I was having my blast, having my scone, having my tea. And then, you know, we were having a wonderful day, wonderful afternoon, nice sunny day. And then at the end, he was saying, how many scones did you have? Okay, so that's £2. And before you know, I think the whole thing came less than £5. But
I think I knew. What actually happened? I think I knew and I had you covered or something like that.
I didn't have anybody. Yeah, but your Mr. Phil was around to have me covered because, you know, I was like,
I wasn't going to embarrass both of us.
I was like, what? Is he expecting me to pay?
Yes.
Like, yes, I'm expecting you to pay.
Yes. You know why? And this is one of the greatest things Simon did. I knew when you were having the scones, I knew we were gonna pay for it because Simon had always dealt with me and dealt with us as equals. Now that is very, very, very important. Let me say this. Simon was a director in one of the big companies in the UK then called BT, one of the sales directors. Simon drove luxury cars. Simon has had this house. He was a bachelor then, but he had this house in Kent. All I had was my LA gears. All I had was my jeans, maybe my shirt. If it's not, brother, pass me down. But Simon never looked down on me. Simon never treated me less than. Even in 2021, today they were talking about racism. Today they were talking about Meghan Markle, about the fact that she experienced racism in the royal household. Honestly, Simon, it's like incredible. Simon did not see me as any different, and he never treated me any different. And honestly, Simon, you're an amazing human being. Mr. Clay.
Yes, sir. Simon, you are definitely incredible. Thank you, sir. Because the scone experience was a eye opener to me. Like, you know what, you need to start paying your way in life. Don't expect somebody to be paying for you. You're a man, you're a grown man. Fend for yourself.
Handle your business.
Handle your business. That was like, wow. And another thing he used to do was not only did he used to give us responsibility and challenges, but he will call you once in a while to see how you're getting on. You can call him, because I was scared to call him most of the time anyway. But after a while, you feel up calling and call him. And he will ask you certain questions, uncomfortable questions. And he was always encouraging you to carry on, that don't give up. You have an amazing future. You used to always say that you have an amazing future. You don't know what kind of future you're going to have.
And we do. We do. We do. And now today, we've had jobs that paid well. Like Mr. Kele, you have a job now that pays very well. We can all trace it back to that mentorship.
Yeah. Yeah.
So everything that I now have 4 children. The way my children look at me, the leadership that I use in my business, in my platforms, in my network, is Simon's model. I use Simon's model. It's like he modeled it. Leadership by example, not leadership by force. Leadership by example. So the leadership that, Mr. Clay, I have groups now, I lead some, and I lead people naturally now, but it's Simon's model.
Yeah, yeah. And when we say leadership by example, real example. So he wouldn't tell you to do something, and then you would check behind his back and you see him not doing something else. Because I remember even with the products we're selling, he used to say, try and buy from yourself. Patronize your own business first. All his house was kitted up.
You go to his house, that's all you see. You go to the bathroom, that's all you use. So
he was totally kitted up. And he was always, what you see was what you got. He missed that integrity. Integrity was spot on. So once again, thank you, Simon, for showing us the value of integrity for showing us the value of not cutting corners, being who you are, for real, for real. Thank you.
For real. Thank you, Simon. Now, honorable mention. Actually, before we do honorable mention, let's do remote mentors. My most impactful remote mentor, the mentor that you've never met, but you met them through books or through tapes or through videos. Jim Rohn.
Before we go for remote mentors,
yeah,
I would like to give a shout out to Pete and Jan as well.
I was gonna leave that to the last because we're gonna put that as, because we can't put them as honorable. We can't put them as remote mentors. I think I want to put them under the class of honorable mentions.
Because there was a time that he was actually, he took over from Simon for me.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay, go for it. Pete and Jan Woodley.
Pete and Jan. Pete and Jan. The first lady surname out of the bag already.
Oh no! I'll have to.
So you guys don't rewind the tape now. Don't go rewind it.
No, I'll have to bleep that out. No, I can't.
So Pete was definitely a mentor as well for me, especially when I first got married, and getting into that scenario of marriage and surviving everything to do with that. And he was very good for that, in terms of all of that, and getting me still focused on the business with a wife and with a young family. So Pete, thank you, sir. Back to you, Mr. Phil.
Well, Pete and Jan, the simple thing about Pete and Jan for me, I didn't even know that they did that for you.
Skip the show. Thank you very much. Pleasure to be here. Appreciate it.
I didn't even know that they did that for you. One thing with Peter and Jan for me was their leadership. They showed me I watched them, take care of us and take care of their organization. I watched them arrange for, the whole organization on accommodation, on what we're gonna do for the weekend.
Yes.
They took care of.
And let me just add to that. They didn't just take care of it, they made sure we got the best. In every, like, if you went there if you were part of their group, you were gonna get the best hotels, you get the best deals.
I always felt special to be part of their group.
Yes.
To be part of Pete and Jan's group. Simon was part of the group. So it was great to have Simon. But to now have the cherry of Pete and Jan on top was priceless, honestly. And I felt so privileged and so loved being part of that group and so accepted. There.
Yes, sir. It was a fantastic combination, because you had Simon always had your back, and then you had Pete and Jan having your back after Simon. It was just, we felt so cared for. And I would say it was probably, yes, they're all whites in the UK, but there was no sense of racism. There was no we felt loved.
Completely, and completely accepted. And that is why it is hard for me, after Pete and Jan, maybe that's why the universe made us meet them. That is why it's hard for me to be so hard-nosed, black or white, and you understand what I'm saying? Because I know people like Pete and Jan exist. You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
So how do you, without their input in our life, we will not be where we are today. So how do you reconcile that? You just got to say, you know what? Take everybody by their own merit. I slept in Simon's car, slept in his house, traveled places with him. I completely dependent on him. Completely dependent on Pete and Jan. And we had the most amazing, magical time. Honestly, whew, we can't thank you guys enough because you changed our lives and we are now changing the lives of thousands.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let's wrap it up. Let's wrap it up with Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn, never met him, but through books, through tapes, through videos. Jim Rohn, information and is just priceless. So just adding Jim Rohn there to just tell you that, you know, there's so much information can do for you, even if, you know, the person is not there physically, you know. So that kind of information. So I just wanted to put that there. So everybody need a mentor.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
We've spoken about Simon. We've spoken about someone that was mentoring us hands-on. We've spoken about people that may not have mentored me hands-on, but they still mentored us by we watching how they handled things. And we're talking about people that never met us, but through books and videos and information, still mentored us. Okay. And I'm going to end by saying, I don't care who you are, you need a mentor. Take it very seriously. Is there anybody that is already achieving what you desire to achieve? Befriend them. Ask them questions. As a matter of fact, just ask them to mentor you. Mr. Clay, I don't know if you want to add.
That is it. That is the secret that is the secret. You go to, you find out what you want to do, where do you want to be, even in your jobs, in your workplaces, wherever, in your health, in your food, whatever you want mentoring on. Find out somebody that's already doing it. Walk up to them, be humble. Say, would you mind be my mentor in this particular field? We don't do that enough with each other in this life. And you'll be surprised how they will take you. They will take you, they will feel honored, you know. But that's been my experience anyway. You know, they'll feel honored and they will take you under their wings and they will give you the best mentorship they can give you on that particular subject. So I remember doing that at work. When I first started at an investment firm, I looked and there's a guy in this corner office. Nobody worked in the big corner office. And I walked up to him, knocked on his door. He said, "Come in." His secretary, actually, before I got there, the secretary tried to stop me. He said, "Can I help you?" I said, "I just have to talk to Nick quickly." And she was like, "Huh?" But before she could say anything, I was knocking on his door and he saw me. He was like, "Yeah, come on in." So I walked in and I said, "Do you mind being my mentor? I want you to mentor me." And he was like, "Okay. But we're not in the same department." And I said, "It doesn't matter. I just want you to be my mentor. I think there might be one or two things you can help me. I've just started in a company and blah, blah, blah." And he was like, "Okay, no problem. Let's do it." And then I got speaking to the secretary. He said his secretary would contact me. So I left my details and we started talking. He said, "We're going to lunch together." And he started talking. And that really helped me, not in my career. Not like he commanded somebody to promote me or give me a job, but it helped me my confidence in the firm. It helped me, and people were wondering, what are these two going to lunch? I mean, what's going on here?
That's always interesting.
Like,
when people look at you,
does he know his dad? Or does he, what's going on? You know, I can't figure it out. You know, so it's important. And I've had people mentor me for clothing. Somebody helped mentor, put me together, my image consultant. Shout out to the man himself, Mr. Alpha. You know who you are. And you know, there's about mentors even in cooking and in every area of my life. If I like something, I'll ask the person to mentor me. So on that note, I'm not going to drag this video any further. Mr. Phil, back to you.
Well, I think all that is just left to say is just an amazing thank you to all of you that have invested in us. You have changed our lives. We can't repay you back. And I know some of you would not probably even have known the impact that you had on our lives until you heard us say it right now. What I would say is that you will not know how far-reaching that fruit has now grown.
And it continues to grow.
And it continues to grow. Evidenced by this channel. This channel is touching a lot of people and continue to touch a lot of people for many years. And it's all thanks to what you started and you planted in us. Thank you so much. This is one of those things that money can't buy. We can't pay you, we can't repay you. All we can say is just say thank you. Mr. Clay.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. For the rest of the audience seeing us, we've just spoken to our mentors. We have been mentored. We are mentoring people. We hope that this recording encourages you to seek out a mentor. Mr. Clay has given you the way. Mr. Clay, do you want to remind them how to get a mentor?
Rewind the video and watch it again.
That's a mentor talking. On that note, see you later. Like my daughter always says, peace and love.
Peace and love. See you next time. Bye.